Hi, I'm Lorena Pantano, and today I want to share some tips on how to improve your productivity with these new AI tools. I review hundreds of scientific papers for Health Integrity Project over the months. I will talk about this project very briefly. We are a group of scientists that want to bring the evidence from specific health claims to the community, to the general public, so you know why I'm going to present what I'm going to present. Here you can have different health claims that you hear everywhere from different platforms, and you can quickly know if there is scientific evidence to believe or not this claim, and they are categorized as inconclusive or evidence disproves and so on. So to get this category, like how much scientific evidence you have for a specific claim, we have to review papers. And we need to do it in a way that is systematically. So every review follows a strict workflow, and we can learn about that here. Just you can go on your own, but there is a validation step, right? That it will tell you if the paper is valid, there is conflict of interest or what. The next step will be the quality checks, and there are questions here that you need to answer in terms of like there is appropriate statistics, groups, all these things. And these follow into other questions. So as you can see, we really thought a lot to put this together so we can really review papers and studies for this particular purpose, that is to decide how much you can trust health claim. So we decided to create a Claude skill or command that can handle this entire process and help us to really make this consistent and robust. When evaluating scientific papers, consistency matters. Did I check for conflict of interest every time? Was the control group adequate for this particular study? Did I assess this bias or not? So manual review can take 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on the study. And I could forget steps. I could be very focused in one and then skip others. So then my criteria will be different every time, and we want to avoid that. So the idea is that we need a systematic approach that runs the same evaluation or look at the same evaluation questions every time. And we use Claude Code specifically, and you can have custom commands in Claude Code or actually in any other of this platform. And I'm sure that they have a very beautiful explanation of this. So, but to explain this very shortly, they basically tell Claude, the model, exactly how to handle a specific task. So in my case, I review a paper following Health Integrity Project classification workflow. And here is the structure. I can show you, you can read about this, but I can show you a specific example. It's basically a markdown file inside a folder in your project. In this case, it's .cloud commands, and we can focus in this file. So this file is called review-paper markdown, and it has all explanation of how our workflow function. So we created this file, and now we can call this in Claude directly. So this is the plugin to use Claude in Visual Code, and we can call it directly, right? And then the process will start. So the process will be, first of all, it will tell you okay, I'm going to help you to do that, but give me a paper on a claim to be evaluated, and the position is the paper supporting or contradicting the claim. And then it will go through each of these phases. So this paper is about this raspberry as a supplement. So I have the paper download. You could give a URL if open. So I will say the paper is here, and this is a supporting paper for this claim. And this claim is, let's see what the claim is because I forgot, but we have the webpage here. So this is the claim: red raspberry, lifty, shorten labor, and helps induce birth. Then I click enter, and the process starts, and it will go through the different steps. This is not meant to give you all the answers. It's meant to retrieve information, and you can interact with it. You can ask questions, like dig more into this, give me exactly the quote and where in the paper is this information. So then for each of the steps, you can interact and continue your evaluation and make sure that it happens as is useful. So This will take a little bit. For the model, I use Sonnet. It could be, you can go to Opus, but Sonnet normally is good enough, and we'll wait for the response. As we wait, I can tell you more about some of the tricks that we use. So as I say, here is a lot of text about check conflict of interest, review a study. We don't like narrative studies to evaluate health claims. If this is a categorical meta-analysis, meaning as well as a narrative meta-analysis that is not doing reanalysis. And it will tell you, depending on what you choose, it will be misinformation or invalid. And so on. We go to quality, study type. We actually ask for, like, if it's a human study, to retrieve some demographic information if possible. And then it's like, okay, I want information in this format. So you can really say output format and tell this is what I want. In the step one, this is what I want, and so on. And at the very end, you can ask for summary as you would like it. So for instance, you can add things like ask the user what is the final category after all the information before making this statement, because here is going to make kind of explanation why this paper is in this final category, and it's important the input of the user. So instead of just leaving the model to do whatever it thinks that is the best, is asking for feedback. So you can tell the model to ask for feedback at any specific point. So in terms of what really is needed, that review paper is long, but basically it has an input. It has a task. The input is what you will provide, the task, what Claude should do, and the output format, how results should look. And then you make the instruction step by step as needed. So as you can see, it doesn't need to be super complicated. It's dependent on how complex is your task. And this command, they can be for anything, right? The idea is to put in a file all the workflow that you repeat every time and every time. So it could be for many things, like if I'm going back to running pipelines, because I'm lately running a lot of Nextcloud pipelines in a specific environment, and if you don't use Sekera or don't have access to Sekera to do this for you, a specific question will be analyze Nextcloud resource usage for this pipeline. So this could be a subcommand to point to a Nextcloud pipeline in your project, and it will get all the resources, calculate actual and requested CPU and memory, ignore fails jobs, I guess, and generate updated resource config file. And then an optional, you can put that into the Nextcloud config. This is a kind of very minimalist workflow. I just made it up for the purpose of the example. If you want to try it, I will start trying it in my Nextcloud runs. I just wanted to show really how easy it is, and then the command will be optimized as Nextcloud. You will have access in your command line through Cloud Code or in the plugin in VS Code if you use it like me. So that's all. I just wanted to share that because it's making things very efficient, very robust. I really don't miss any information from the paper. I compare with and without, and it was much harder finding information. So definitely this was a win. I will encourage you to try, find something that you repeat a lot, even if it's a very simple thing. Try to define your workflow, make a custom command, and try it. And I think that you will save time, and you can improve the command, right, as you find like maybe places where the model is not doing what you want. I just wanted to share what Claude told me. So he started to do the first validation screen, conflict of interest. So it's telling you that the company is involved in the paper, right? So, well, it's not bad, but it's good to know. But the primary finder was independent, so that is fine. So it's really getting into this information. There is no review study, there is no categorical or narrative meta-analysis, and so on. Here is saying misinformation because actually the result is just spotting that the result is not aligned with the claim. But you can continue, right? This is like the first interaction. Do you want me to continue? And you can say things, take this into account, but move into the next step, and so on. That's all. I just wanted to share that. Comment or tell me if you try with something else. But until next time, bye.